actually discovered mindfulness when I think all the way back. This started for me in grade 7. I was actually failing French class. Can anybody relate? Two people. Okay. We're in the same club. And I went to my teacher in tears. I said, is there anything that I could do to get my grade up in French? And my teacher was kind enough to give me an extra assignment in French. So I went home that night, and I had been practicing guitar. My mom had this guitar that would just kind of lay around the house, so I'd pick it up. And that particular night, I started practicing this old Bob Dylan song, Blowing in the Wind. And all of a sudden, while I was practicing it, I realized that I could actually translate the song into French, into Souffle dans le vent, I think is the translation. And it's going to date me, but record the song on a cassette tape. Do you remember those? And hand this in as my extra project in French, so I did. And to my surprise, I got the grade back, and I got an A+ on the assignment, which got my overall grade in French up to a D-. And my teacher came back to me and said, do you want to sing this song in front of the school? And I don't know about you guys, but for me in grade 7, the last thing I wanted to do was get up in front of all my peers and sing. I mean, my voice was cracking. I had an awkward crush on Stephanie Johnson. I didn't want to do this, but something came over me to say yes. I think I was just kind of deer in the headlights. So the next thing I knew, I was in the school gymnasium. And ironically tonight, Mr. Burns, the principal at the time, who's here tonight, he just showed up tonight. I invited him. Mr. Burns and I go way back. So Mr. Burns gets up to announce that I'll be singing this song, and I'm at the side of the stage in the gym, and all of a sudden I just feel my heart pounding in my chest, much like I did tonight when you got up, Janet. And then all of a sudden my breath started shrinking, and most notably this voice came up in my head, and only I could hear it. It was just yelling at me, run for the hills. This is such a bad idea. And despite all that, somehow I walked to the center of the gym, and I started playing my song Souffle dans le vent. And I looked out, and my worst nightmare started coming true. I looked out, Stephanie was laughing with Maria, the whole row of students started laughing. And in my head, that voice got louder, saying, you are going to be like laughed at the rest of your life. Like, this is so bad. And as that's all happening, all of a sudden, there was this quick little whisper. It was like a little spark. And it reminded me, it was like, you just learned the chords to the Fred Penner song, The Cat Came Back. Play that one, it's going to go way better. So I, on a whim, just thought, well, this is my last resort, literally. So I picked up the guitar and I started playing The Cat Came Back. And to my surprise, the whole school, what went from chaos turned into this big sing-along. And the whole school started singing along with me. And I remember looking out and seeing this and just thinking, this is so powerful. Like, a chill was running down my spine. Because, if you ever notice when a good song comes on, and we're all singing, there's something that's connecting us together that's not on the surface of what the Hawaiians might call pilikia, drama, drama, sticky troubles. It's like all these things that we get so caught up in our heads about. The moment that music comes on and we start singing, we realize that there's something inherently connecting us together. And for me, this has become really the foundation of a mindfulness practice. My whole life has been about connecting through music. And so a lot of the beginning of this, in the foundation of this book, is all about how all things are connected when we're paying attention in the present moment.